So the next one we're going to do, we're going to challenge it. We're going to take it one step farther. You don't always get to go to the hoop in a game, because in a game a lot of times there'll be a defender that'll rotate over. So what we want to do is add another part to that. This time, Alex is going to catch the ball. He's going to shot fake. Coach Garner's going to come out on one side or the other. If he comes out on the right side, Alex is going to put the ball to the floor on his left side, keeping his body between the ball and the defender. He's going to take 2 pushes and reset in a new spot as if he was playing a screen and roll game that Coach Laddie was talking about in a previous session. Okay, go ahead. Shot fake. He's going to take 2 pushes, now reset, and spot up for a jumper. Okay, nice. Good job. Good job. Want to slow it down a little bit coming out of those 2 pushes, because you don't want to roll into that defender in a game that's trying to play those 2 people. Go ahead and get again.
Shooter, 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 shooter.
Nice. Good job. Good job. Okay, so you can see, that's good, Alex. You can see how we've progressed from layups underneath the basket, little 2-foot shots that we want every player to do. We moved that player outside the key, so we're taking short jump shots. Then we added some movement into that. We added a pass. Then we added a defender. Then we added reads off of that shot fake, driving to the basket, and then resetting off of 2 pushes. We took it all the way from layups up to complex game reads, the kinds of reads that you make in a national championship game or in a world championship game. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I'm going to pass things over to Doug, and he's going to take things over.
We have a few minutes left, and I want to show you just a few things. Yesterday we talked about some agility training and some progressions that you can use to have fun with some agility training in your practices. So today we're going to talk about a few things we do in developing speed. And maybe one of the most important things in speed is developing that first push. So Alex is going to get on the baseline, and all he's going to do is start out and do pushes to the free throw line. So whenever you're ready. And what we're looking at is how he's using his body to develop that speed and that first push. And with your younger athletes, you're going to do a lot of these because they're going to try different things in developing that first push. And they want to think about hand position on the wheel, their trunk position, their head up, and all those things that make for a good push in wheelchair basketball. One more. So we're talking about power push, talking about hand speed into the push, hand speed in the recovery back to the top. All those are important things. So your next step after you incorporate these in your practice is now we're going to add a turn. So he's going to face the left 90 degrees, and then he's going to go from there. Turn and push. And we'll do a few of those facing 90 left, facing 90 right. We'll do a 180. Face the curtain. So basic starting pushes. And we'll do sets of those in 30 seconds, and then we'll rest. You don't want to do them when you're tired. You want to do them while you're fresh and you're generating quick, fresh, fast muscles. So then we'll add a few more variables to it. We'll change the starting position of hands, because think about it, in the game, sometimes you're guarding the defense and then you need to move. So we'll turn 90 degrees and we'll go hands on head. And go. So your athletes are going to find within their functional range of their disability and their seating position and everything else, where their hands are going to go on their wheels to do that 90-degree turn and get that first push as fast as they can. Hands to the side. So he's on defense, and go. And you can change your hand position. You can go hands behind the back, hands on your head. One hand on your head, one hand out. One hand up, one hand out. change your hand positions, a little bit of variety. You're really doing the same thing, but you're doing it from different starting positions, so it doesn't seem like the same thing to the athletes. So now he's going to face the curtain, and I'm going to give him a verbal cue. I'm going to say right or left. He's got to turn in that direction. Right. So now we're adding the verbal cue, information processing, and also hand position on wheels, the basic mechanics of starting a good push. And these are high repetition things. You're going to do a lot of them, and you're going to really talk to the athlete and talk them through what we're talking about. Think about your body position. Think about your hand position. Think about what you want to do with this push. Think about where you're going on the floor. All these are things that you want to generate in these open state drills, so that when they take them to the game situation, those pathways are already there and they're already doing it automatically without having to think about it. Okay, I'm going to turn right, my hands are going to go here, I'm going to lean in this direction. You want them already processing this so that it's automatic. Face the curtain, hands on your head, left. So you saw on that one where Alex went from here to here, and he was already had his hands in position to make the turn. So now behind the chair. So we'll add a teammate in. And so here you are behind the screen. The ball goes to the other side. So I'm going to call a verbal cue. He's going to process it. You're going to go to whatever side I call. Left. And you saw right when he started that bit of hesitation going into it. That's what you want to get rid of. You want to get him right into that automatic. Okay, I know left, and I'm right into it. Hands out to the side. Left. Okay, face the curtain. Hands straight up. Right. So now we're incorporating turning to both sides, right, left. We're incorporating adding the verbal command. We're incorporating where his starting position is. We're adding more variables in. So you're going to do 5 reps and switch. Let him get his rest time while the other person is doing his starts. Face the curtain. Right hand on your head. Left hand straight out to the side. Right. Just one more variable in developing speed from there. Yesterday we talked about, we did power starts, and then we added a partner, and we did power starts with a partner. And then we said, okay, maybe you're going to add a bigger partner or 2 partners. So all we're talking about is start from the beginning, add a little bit as you go along. It's not something that'll happen in 1 practice or 2 practices. It's something to work toward with an end goal of increased speed, increased agility, and better thinking in game situations. So it can be a 2, 3, 5, 7-year process. You get a 6-year-old coming in 2 years, where are they? In 5 years, where are they? And you want to be looking at, in the very first session that we did Thursday morning, we looked at assessment. Use some assessment to see time their starts from here to half court. Do it again in a year. It's really cool to see the development and the decreases in time. At UTA, we use this as one of our student learning objectives. Decrease speed from the beginning to the end of the season. Time it at the beginning, time it at the end, and show that our training program actually is developing better speed in our athletes. So we tie in an assessment from our first session with some of the things that we learned yesterday in our power pushes to some different things you can use to develop some speed along the way in your training program. So go to the WBA website, watch some of these, and then start tying them all in together. And as Coach Frogley said, look at some able-bodied videos, tie them in with what you want to do with your athletes in developing skill, strength, power, endurance, shooting, dribbling, ball handling, all those things that we want to see in our wheelchair basketball.